classes at Wyoming College.
Go on.
First of all, if you can go to slide 1, where it says monolingualism is not the norm. The U.S. does not have an official language, although so many people think that it does. Some states have official languages, but as a country, we don't. And being monolingual, like the majority of the U.S., is not the norm. We know that 82% of those in the U.S. only speak American English. Modern language education, which also interchanges foreign language education, is dwindling in higher education across the U.S., despite the fact, again, as I said, the world's known to be multilingual. According to Russell Berman, who is the Walter A. Haas Professor in the Humanities at Stanford University, we become a nation of second language illiterates, and recent draconian cuts to language teaching in colleges and universities are exacerbating an already serious problem. We can go on to the next slide. With waning support of financial cuts, higher education's waning support of foreign language education has been said, it's due to financial constraints, but we also think that there's some xenophobia and ethnocentrism as well. HBCUs and other minority-situated institutions are no different from predominantly white institutions concerning the loss and or reduction of modern language programs and degree offerings. Slide 3. Mission statements in higher ed. What's very interesting is that I think there's some hypocrisy with mission statements in higher education. You can just randomly look at mission statements, or if any of you have been on any kind of strategic planning committee or whatnot, you'll see that the majority of them will have some form of, global, the word global in it, 21st century, cultural awareness, things of that nature. And I've looked at some of the HBCUs, some of the 101 HBCUs that we have, private and public, and you'll see in their mission statements, global society, global workforce, etc. On to slide 4. HBCUs and foreign languages. We know that there are about 101 operating HBCUs, however, only 28 offer a bachelor's in a foreign language. Now, you have some HBCUs that may offer a language, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the student, can actually get a degree in that language. And just to give you another breakdown, one HBCU offers a certificate, 2 HBCUs offer an associate's degree in foreign language, 5 HBCUs offer a master's degree in foreign language, and there's only 1 doctoral degree from Clark Atlanta that will offer a degree in language. And so what's very interesting is that we're offering degrees and certificates in global studies, international business, multicultural education, cybersecurity, international relations. However, having second language acquisition, learning a foreign language, is not a requirement. And I think that's problematic. Next slide. Multilingualism in the marketplace. There are calls for second language acquisition and multilingualism in job postings and federal grants. You can see the U.S. Department of Education's Office of Secondary Education, specifically in international and foreign language education, that they are advocating and also helping to give grants because of the ongoing national need for individuals with expertise and competence in world languages and international studies. Also, they want to advance national security by developing a pipeline of highly proficient linguists. Those who speak, and linguists I mean in the fact not those who actually study the science of linguistics, but those who actually speak another language, especially in critical regions around the world. To contribute developing a globally competent workforce to be able to engage in multilingual and multicultural company. We know that many of our students, when they go on their jobs, they will be going to meetings, they will be traveling, they will meet people from home and abroad, And it's important that they are, culturally aware and also linguistically aware. It's also to expand access to international and foreign language learning, and also support teaching and research on critical world regions. If you look at any kind of job with the U.S. intelligence agencies, with other businesses, with the government, they can offer more money for those who speak another language. So that's why, again, it's important that we really do promote multilingualism in our HBCUs. Next slide on second language acquisition, helping with first language standard proficiency. Learning another language really does help with proficiency in one's first language. I know for myself, studying Russian and Spanish really helped me to really understand the deep structure of American English. And according to the American Council of Teacher of Foreign Languages, there's evidence that language learners transfer skills from one language to another, and that it increases linguistic awareness. And by linguistic awareness, I'm talking about, grammatical judgment in one's first language, correcting whatever needs to correct if you're trying to speak the standard of the language, and also word and vocabulary recognition. Students learn about verb conjugations, they learn about subject-verb agreement, pronoun antecedent agreement, even word order, and again, sentence structure. So again, learning multiple languages is not a detriment, it is actually something to help, it's actually super beneficial. With the next slide on students' reading and writing challenges. We know that at many of our HBCUs, and despite the students' cultural background, we have students who come with challenges, and specifically with reading comprehension and written and oral communication. We know that the mission of many of our HBCUs when they started in the late 1800s and early 1900s was to educate all students despite the challenges they may come with them. And so we know that standard American proficiency, or what I also call mainstream American proficiency, is something that many of them lack. And again, as I was saying with the previous slide, that proficiency can be strengthened by learning a second language. And so it's important that if you really want to hone in the skills of reading and writing, which go hand in hand, that second language acquisition also be part of it. Next slide, students of HBCUs, we know our first generation college graduates, and even at my previous institution, which is Norfolk State University, some of them were the first to graduate from high school. So they're coming with, and I don't want to call them, they're not deficits, but challenges when it comes to, mainstream education. And so, of course, when it comes to language, many of them don't code switch. They speak in their first language, whether it may be non-standard American dialect or another language as well. And so, except for the small few who may be middle class and above, but we have to teach them how to code switch. It's an unfortunate reality in our world that people are discriminated based on how they speak, and so it's up to us as educators to help them. And so what I always tend to see with my students is that they call standard English proper English, that they know the importance of it because they'll say certain things, but they really don't understand the structure of it and how it's used. And again, learning another language would help them to be able to understand that. The next slide. With meta-discursive commentary. So as I've been a composition professor over the years, I've collected tons of data on students' meta-discourse, which is basically their perceptions and attitudes about language. And so it's very interesting to read what they have written about, their perceptions on language and acquiring mainstream or standard American language, and then also keeping their first language. And so what I've done over the years, what I've done with all the data I've collected is I put it to 5 major themes. So success, which is, and judgment, difficulties, getting rid of non-mainstream American English, and the widespread use and practice. You can see in parentheses, I wrote down like one example of what a student may have written concerning that. And you see there's some conflicting views, where on one hand the student is like, oh, learning standard English, or as they say, proper English, is like a foreign language. And then on the other hand, it's hard, but then on the other hand, it says that you have to do it if you want to be successful. So, you can tell there's some very conflicting beliefs about it. Next slide, linguistic reality, not linguistic insecurity, because language does matter. We know as a linguist, and linguistics has, for the past 100 years, has really shown that all languages are equal. They're just not socially equal. And, despite the fact that many of us as linguists are like, all languages should be treated equal, people don't feel that way. And so we have to make sure that we let our students know that just like you can be discriminated through race or gender or geographic location, age, ability, etc., people will also discriminate against you with language. And so we should be teaching them that spoken language and written language are two different languages, that again, all languages are legitimate, systematic, and rule governed. People who speak non-mainstream languages and dialects are not lazy and ignorant. Educators should not degrade a student's first language. Learning a language dialect doesn't mean the student must stop speaking his or her first language. Learning, and that most importantly, that learning mainstream American English is cultural capital. Mainstream U.S. society, the educational system, government, etc., that value it. And that again, and I always tell my students the first day of teaching composition is that we have everything, all the social factors of how people should not or are not allowed to discriminate against someone, but we don't have language in it. But we know in language, all those social factors are tied into it. Next slide. So what I teach my students about language, and as I said before, is that it's cultural capital. It's just like money. Having money will definitely help you. So will having standard American English or mainstream English as part of your linguistic arsenal as well. John Rickford, who is a sociolinguist, African-American sociolinguist at Stanford University, says, although most sociolinguists will reject the standard language ideology, one cannot reject as easily the reality of its existence. In a perfect world, it wouldn't matter how you speak and what you say and the grammar and whatnot, but we know that's not a reality. And so we need to make sure that, again, that people understand that language and its intersection with identity, again, being proud of their first language, and also not thinking that learning mainstream American English is being fake or not keeping it real. Also that mainstream American English is a set of rules. I tend to tell my students, they get all like, oh, I can't stand it, I don't like it, it's too much. I tell them, don't be emotional about language, just learn the rules and acquire them so that you can be able to speak mainstream American English in the proper settings. And then also, don't fall into linguistic myths, only know the facts. And also for them to be aware of being linguistic discrimination, not to discriminate against others, and be aware of those who discriminate against them, excuse me. The next slide. This is one of my favorite quotes by linguistic anthropologist Alessandro Durante. And saying something, we are always doing something. So when we speak, it's not just, oh, we're just speaking. We're actually, there's so much loaded into our speaking, who we are, where we're from, and what people perceive about us. And so again, language and issues are tied to our personal and social identities. And I have several quotes there from different linguists just about identity and language. And my last slide, being linguistically savvy. This is something that I've been talking about since I was working on my dissertation, probably 10 plus years ago. We're all on an identity continuum where we pull out different aspects of our identity depending on the context, and that's also for language as well. So just like we're on an identity continuum, we're also on a linguistic continuum. And so we pull out different varieties depending on the situation we're in and who we're speaking with. And so that's being linguistically savvy. And also being able to speak to all audiences using whatever variety it is needed to effectively communicate. And that's why I go back to saying, mainstream American English is not appropriate for every context. You have to know your audience. You have to know who you're speaking with and use that being linguistically savvy to be able to speak to others effectively. And then also that promoting that, hey, when you speak more than one dialect or more than one language, that is a good thing. It means you're bilingual or bidialectal, and it adds to your linguistic repertoire. And so it's important as with HBCUs in this global world that we live in, being global citizens, that we do promote this, not only for our students, but for ourselves, and that we make sure that students, before they leave the university, that they have mainstream American English acquisition, so that that will be one less way that they will be discriminated against in the marketplace. Thank you very much. And if anyone wants to email me, PowerPoint, please feel free to email me or reach out to me. I will definitely send that to them. Thank you so much.
Good. All right. Friends, we don't have much time. If we want to stay on schedule, should we take maybe 5 minutes for questions? 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Let's do that. Questions? Yes, sir.
I have two questions. One is for Professor Alu and the other for today's and yeah. So the Arabization process, it's a pan-Arab thing. So in my understanding, I think the Algerian experience was more of a success compared to the Moroccan and Tunisian. In the sense that, and you understand that in Algeria it was used as part of the decolonization process, right? With the radicalism of the group Islamist Army, the GIA. But then in Tunisia it didn't work, right? They're more, the focus was wanting to stay more secular. So in Morocco, I was wondering how much the Berber were impacted, and if you are looking at pan-Arabization as less of a decolonization process, but more of a colonization process. And then for the two ladies here, I was really expecting you to teach me, right, how I could use things for the party in a classroom, where, because in an elementary Swahili class, we are expected to maximize the use of the target language, let's say Swahili. But these are students who do not have, a certain knowledge of the language where they could use the text, the English text, and then, to produce text, let's say an essay or whatever. So how do you do that? How do you really get that? How do you maximize the use of the target language, using a non-Swahili text? Thank you.
Let's get our microphone back if we can. Sorry, it's rather awkward. Ali, you get a go first.
Thank you very much for the question. The three countries in North Africa did not have the same, let's say, the same status. Although Tunisia and Morocco are similar protectorates, while Algeria was actually a French territory. And for the Algerians, it was much more dramatic and also very traumatic experience to wipe out basically the entire culture and replace it by the French language. And the French learned a lesson from Algeria because they came from Algeria was 1830, and then in Morocco it was in Tunisia also it was in 1900, and then in Morocco it's in 1912. So it didn't last as much. But the Algerians still are in the sort of kind of a civil war still, and Tunisia has a terrible problem in terms of far right Islamists. Actually, in both countries, Morocco is rather more, I would say, less violent, but it still has this tinge of conflict between between Arabic and French, but it also affected the Berber population, which is actually 60% of the Moroccan population. And the Arabic language has been, since the nationalists took over from French, they didn't really take over, they just took over symbolically, but all the administrations were in French, and etc. And they demanded that they Arabize everything. They were able to Arabize the Justice Department, for example, the Ministry of Justice, but they were not able to Arabize for example, the banking, the technology. So they were kept on teaching all the subjects in French until the Arabization began and finished around the mid-80s. Mid-80s, we started in 87. The first contingent of people who came out of the Arabized curriculum find out themselves moving on to the university and finding out at the university that they were teaching everything in French. So the whole thing was destroyed, and the example of this little the collection of villages shows how the Arabic was used as an ideology for Arabism, but they were not implemented in such a way that it discriminated against a lot of people, and many people did not move on in the social.
Thank you for your wonderful question. But teaching a foreign language depends on the needs and the goals of your student. And we talked a little bit about the project-based learning. Therefore, if you're teaching the elementary level and you want to use things follow part, there are several ways there are several strategies that you could use. For instance, I give them list of names, and it could be a concours, and they go home to write 2 sentences about the names I gave them. And it could be using like adjectives that I introduced in class. So students in the elementary, the first week, they could come in classroom with sentences like, Okonkwo was brave.